Imagine a roadmap to the future. Not one of those dry academic ones with charts and GDP predictions that just make your eyes glaze over.
Right.
This one is different. It's a map drawn with stories.
That's a great way to put it. We're diving into AI 2041, 10 visions for our future.
And that pairing is what really grabbed me, because usually you get the tech person telling you about the code, or you get the sci-fi writer showing you the robot apocalypse.
Yeah.
It's so rare to see them in the same room saying, let's make this technically plausible in a story you actually want to read.
Scientific fiction, that's the term they actually use. And the year 2041, it's not random. It's far enough away for these technologies to really ripple through society. But it's close enough that all the tech they talk about, it already exists, at least in a lab somewhere.
Exactly. So our mission for this deep dive isn't just to, geek out over the cool tech. I really want to get into the double-edged sword that Lee presents. Because for every amazing convenience AI offers in these stories, there's a cost.
A tax. Sometimes it's your privacy, sometimes it's something deeper.
Right. So let's start with the first vision. It takes something as boring as insurance and, well, it turns it into a kind of quiet nightmare. This is the story of Nayana in Mumbai.
Right, so the setup is this. In 2041, Nayana's family signs up for Ganesh insurance, and on the surface, it's a dream. You give the company access to all your data, what you eat, how much you exercise, your sleep patterns.
And if you're good, your premiums go down. We're already seeing hints of this today with fitness trackers and stuff. Seems like a win-win.
It does at first. The app guides them toward healthier habits. It optimizes everything. But then Nayana falls in love with a guy named Sahij.
Sahij isn't from the right neighborhood data-wise.
Exactly. He's from a poorer part of the city, and almost instantly, the family's insurance premiums just skyrocket, and they have no idea why. They're still eating right, they're doing everything the app says.
But the AI is watching who she's dating.
Precisely. The relationship is flagged as a risk, and this is where we have to unpack the technology behind it, which is deep learning.
Okay, so when you say the AI flagged it, it's not some person judging her boyfriend.
No, and that's the scary part. It's worse. Deep learning is just about finding correlations in huge amounts of data. It looks at thousands of data points, zip codes, social circles, you name it, and it just optimizes for one goal.
And the goal here is don't lose the insurance company money.
That's it. It's just cold math. The AI sees data that says, historically, people who associate with this demographic from this neighborhood are a higher financial risk. It doesn't know what love is. It has no common sense.
It just sees a pattern. Boyfriend from neighborhood X equals liability.
And that's the algorithmic trap. It feels objective, but it isn't neutral because the historical data it's trained on reflects all of our existing societal biases.
So it just ends up reinforcing the status quo. It basically punishes her for dating outside of her social class.
And it does it efficiently, not with malice, just with math. Think about the chilling effect. If your insurance premium depends on who your friends are, maybe you stop making friends with people who might hurt your score.
It's social engineering through finance. Terrifying.
So that's data controlling our choices. But the book goes further into AI controlling our reality, the visual stuff, deep fakes and extended reality, or XR.
Right, the era of seeing is doubting. The book uses this great analogy for the tech behind it. It's called a JAN, right? The forger and the detective.
Yes, a generative adversarial network. It's brilliant. Imagine two AIs. One is the forger, and its job is to create, say, a fake image of a person. The other is the detective, and its job is to spot the fake.
So the detective says, nope, the shadow on the nose is wrong. And the forger tries again.
And they do this millions of times a second. Back and forth, until the forger gets so good
that the detective can't tell the difference anymore.
And that's when you have a perfect deep fake. We've seen the early versions, the fake Tom Cruise videos, that kind of thing. But by 2041, it's not a joke. It's a weapon.
Discrediting political opponents, blackmail.
An arms race. As soon as we build a better detector, the forgers get better. But then there's the seductive side of it all. The story of Aiko.
Yeah, this one felt unsettlingly plausible.
Aiko is obsessed with a rock star named Hiroshi, who's dead. But in 2041, that's a solvable problem.
Through XR, extended reality. And this is way beyond the VR headsets we have today.
Oh yeah, total immersion. She has contact lenses that project digital images onto the real world. A haptic bodysuit so she can feel pressure and temperature. She can feel Hiroshi hold her hand.
And the AI has learned his personality from old interviews so it can talk and act just like him.
It's the ultimate fantasy, but you have to ask, what's the price of admission for this?
Everything. Total constant surveillance.
Yeah. Exactly. For the XR glasses to work, they have to see everything you see. Your home, your friends, the medicine in your cabinet. The company that owns the platform sees your entire life.
It's the end of privacy, and we volunteer for it because we want to play a game.
That's the theme, isn't it? We trade freedom for convenience. Or in this case, for a kind of connection.
Which is ironic because the next story is all about how AI keeps us safe by, well, driving us apart. Let's talk about the COVID generation.
Right. The character is Chen. And in his world, the psychological scars of our pandemic era have deepened. He sees other people primarily as vectors of disease.
So that's a grim future. But the tech is incredible. Biosensors.
Yeah, like an invisible membrane on your skin. It monitors your vitals constantly, blood oxygen, immune response, everything, and it communicates with a network.
So your phone would buzz and tell you, hey, that person you're talking to has a 75% chance of carrying a virus. You should step away.
It's a digital shield. And robots do all the risky physical stuff, like deliveries. So your risk of getting sick is basically zero.
But so is your chance of having a spontaneous human connection.
That's the trade-off. He is physically the safest human in history, but he is profoundly alone. He's outsourced his trust to an algorithm that's only optimizing for one thing: biological safety. It doesn't care if you're lonely.
Yeah, okay. From a world of sterile bubbles to something much more explosive, we have to talk about the darkest chapter: autonomous weapons, the story of Mark.
This one is an urgent warning. Mark is a physicist whose family dies in a climate change-fueled wildfire. He's full of grief and rage, and he wants revenge on the corporate executives he blames.
But instead of a bomb, he uses drones.
Tiny, cheap, 3D printed drones that look like a flock of birds. He gives them a target list, facial recognition data, and just lets them go. They're slaughter bots.
And the really terrifying part isn't just the tech itself, it's the strategic problem you mentioned, the deterrence problem.
Right. With nuclear weapons, there's a return address. If a missile is launched, you know where it came from, and you can retaliate. That's what keeps the peace, sort of mutually assured destruction.
But a swarm of tiny bird drones released from a shipping container.
Who do you blame? Who do you retaliate against? A state, a terrorist group, a single grieving scientist. There's no return address. Deterrence collapses. It makes assassination cheap, easy, and anonymous.
The book argues for a ban, right? A mandatory human in the loop.
Yes. A human being has to make the final call. We cannot outsource a life or death moral decision to a piece of code. That's a line we can't cross.
Okay, let's try and pull back from that abyss. The book does have some hopeful visions too. Education, for example, the story of Golden Sparrow.
A much brighter story. Golden Sparrow is an orphan, and he gets an AI tutor named Atoman.
And we're not talking about a paperclip assistant here.
Not at all. This is built on transformers. The same tech behind ChatGPT, but, 20 years more advanced. Atoman handles all the rote learning, the drills, the grading, the facts.
So it does the grunt work of teaching.
Exactly. And that doesn't replace the human teacher. It frees them.
It frees them to focus on the things the AI can't do.
Mentorship, emotional intelligence, creativity. The human teacher becomes a guide, a coach. They help Golden Sparrow with his trauma, his confidence. The AI handles the curriculum. The human handles the humanity.
That model leads right into the future of work. Because in another story, construction workers are protesting automation. The robots aren't just taking office jobs anymore.
Right. The book says robotics will eventually catch up to skilled trades too. So if AI is writing code and robots are laying bricks, what's left for people?
This is where universal basic income comes up, UBI.
The book treats it as almost a given. A financial safety net is necessary. But, and this is the crucial point, UBI solves the poverty problem. It does not solve the purpose problem.
Work is more than a paycheck. It's about feeling needed.
Yes. So the argument is that our economy has to shift to value the things AI is bad at, the jobs of compassion, elder care, community organizing, the arts, therapy. We have to start monetizing empathy.
Otherwise, we have a world full of people with food and shelter, but no reason to get up in the morning.
Which brings us perfectly to the last story, the most philosophical one, the story of Victor.
Victor, the bored millionaire.
He goes to this hyper-exclusive AI-run resort in Doha. The premise is total optimization. The AI knows his biometric data, his preferences. It anticipates his every desire before he's even aware of it.
Sounds pretty good to me.
You'd think so. The room is always the perfect temperature. The music is always perfect. His robotic assistant is flawless. But He's deeply, profoundly depressed.
Why?
The story frames it with Maslow's hierarchy of needs, the pyramid.
Sure, basic needs at the bottom, self-actualization at the top.
AI is brilliant at the bottom of the pyramid. Food, safety, comfort. It can optimize all of that perfectly. But the things at the top, esteem, a sense of accomplishment, belonging, those require struggle.
Struggle.
Yes, you feel pride in climbing a mountain because it was hard. If a helicopter just drops you at the top, the feeling is gone. Victor's problem is that the AI has removed all friction from his life. And without friction, there's no achievement, no meaning.
So the very things we try to eliminate, difficulty, challenge, are actually what give life its purpose.
Exactly. The AI gave him everything he wanted, but it couldn't give him what he needed.
So if we look at this whole 2041 roadmap, what's the final takeaway?
The main message is that this future isn't a prediction, it's a choice. The technology is coming, that part's a given, the genie's out of the bottle.
But how we use it is up to us.
Right. It all depends on the guardrails we build now. Data privacy laws, treaties on autonomous weapons, and redesigning education to focus on what makes us human.
Empathy, creativity, and a willingness to embrace the struggle.
Even when an app is offering you an easier way out.
Well, this has been a fascinating and, a little terrifying deep dive into AI 2041.
It definitely puts the ball back in our court. We have to decide what kind of future we want to build with these tools.
Before we go, I just want to leave you with one final thought, inspired by Victor on his perfect, miserable island.
It's a tough one.
If an AI could appear tomorrow and solve every single one of your problems, remove every obstacle, every frustration, every challenge, would you actually take the deal? Or is our happiness more tied to the struggle than we'd like to admit?
The process is the point.
Something to think about. Thanks for listening. We'll see you in the future.